All right, let's just jump right in. Every once in a while, a movie comes along that feels like more than just a movie. It feels like a moment. Today, we're going to break down one battle after another, the Paul Thomas Anderson film that everyone is calling a straight-up cultural phenomenon. So, how did it become one of the most celebrated films of our time? Let's get into it.
It all starts with praise like this. Sophia Simonello from Awards Watch didn't just say it was good, she called it the defining American film of the decade. That's a huge statement, but honestly, it's a feeling that just about every other critic seems to agree with. And if you need proof, just look at this number, 455. That's the mind-blowing number of award nominations this movie has racked up around the world. That's a number that puts it in some seriously rare company. So yeah, let's dissect this masterpiece. So where does a movie like this even come from? Well, you've got to look at the director, Paul Thomas Anderson. Now, it's loosely inspired by the Thomas Pynchon novel Violent, but don't think of it as a straight adaptation. Anderson took that spirit and created his own postmodern masterpiece, mashing up genres and time periods in a way that just perfectly nails the feeling of our modern world. Okay, so what's the actual story about? We get dropped right into the action at the Otay Mesa Immigration Detention Center, right on the US-Mexico border. And from the first second, we're in the middle of this intense operation by a group of revolutionaries trying to free the migrants being held there. And leading this whole operation are two people you need to know about, Perfidia and Ghetto Pat. They run a group called the French 75, and Anderson sets them up as total opposites right away. Perfidia, played by the amazing Tiana Taylor, is the cool, powerful strategist. And then you have Ghetto Pat, Leonardo DiCaprio, who's this wild-card explosives expert they hired to cause a little chaos. But here's the thing. The real kickoff to the entire story isn't the big escape. It's a small, personal moment of humiliation. Perfidia just completely owns the camp's commander, Lieutenant Lockjaw, played by Sean Penn. And that single moment is what fuels his obsessive, crazy vendetta for the rest of the movie. So sometime after this, Perfidia gets caught. And then the movie does something really gutsy. It flashes forward 16 years. All of a sudden, we find Ghetto Pat living off the grid with their teenage daughter, Charlene. This time jump just completely changes the game. It goes from a revolutionary action movie to this tense family story about your past always catching up to you, which it does when Lockjaw finally gets a lead on them. And you can't talk about this movie without talking about the huge clash of ideas at its center. On one side, you have the French 75, whose whole motto is about being free from fucking fear. And on the other side, Lockjaw's buddies, the Christmas Adventurers Club, a white supremacist group looking for racial purification. It doesn't get more black and white than that. They are two warring visions for the soul of America. Okay, so the story is epic, but how did Anderson actually make it feel that way? Let's get into the craft, the actual filmmaking, because it's pretty brilliant. One of the first things you'll notice is just how massive this movie looks. And a huge reason for that is this thing called VistaVision. It's a super rare, high-res film format. It's not just a nerdy tech detail, it's what gives the whole film this sweeping, grand feeling. Think of those classic John Ford epics. That's the vibe Anderson was going for. And of course, this is a P.T. Anderson movie through and through. You've got all his signature moves. He mixes that super sharp satire with really dark drama. He goes full throttle on action sequences. He throws in these visual shout-outs to filmmakers like Jonathan Demme, and he explores one of his favorite themes, the found family. And the whole thing is tied together with another one of those perfectly jittery and unforgettable scores from Johnny Greenwood. You can have the best vision in the world, but you need the actors to bring it to life, right? And this cast, wow. Critics have been universally raving about this ensemble for bringing these really complex characters to life. You've got DiCaprio, who's somehow both totally bumbling and the emotional heart of the film. Tiana Taylor has this incredible electric presence that just stays with you. And Sean Penn, he manages to be both absolutely terrifying and just pathetic. It's an amazing physical performance. And you can't forget the incredible newcomer Chase Infinity as the daughter and the always great Regina Hall. Just a perfect cast. Now check this out. The inspiration for this movie comes from all over the place and sometimes in the most unexpected ways. Take this lyric, for instance. It's actually key to a really cool behind-the-scenes story. So get this. Paul Thomas Anderson apparently hears this line from the rapper Jungle Pussy, and he's so blown away by it that he not only becomes a huge fan, but he literally writes a part for her in the movie. And he even sticks the lyric on a sign in the background of a scene. It's just a perfect little example of how this film pulls from every corner of culture to feel so alive and so current. So when you mix a story like that with that kind of craft and these incredible cultural details, well, you get an absolute avalanche of awards. Let's circle back to where we started and look at the hard numbers behind this thing's success. And we're not just talking about 1 or 2 awards here and there. This was a clean sweep across the board. Just look at the big 3. 13 nominations at the Oscars, a wild 14 at the BAFTAs, and 9 at the Golden Globes. That's just total domination. 13 Oscar nominations, and we're talking the big ones. Best Picture, Best Director, and get this, 4 acting nominations for the cast. That just shows you how much the Academy respected every single part of this film. But, nominations are one thing. What about wins? Well, this number, 187, that's how many awards the film has actually taken home from all the different critics groups and guilds. It's just incredible. And that all brings us right back to where we started, 455 total nominations. It just solidifies the fact that One Battle After Another isn't just a great movie, it's a true cinematic event. So when it's all said and done, the film really leaves you with this one big question. It's about fighting the system, yeah? But it's also about family and how ideas get passed down. In a world that feels like it's full of its own battles, it makes you ask yourself, what does it actually take to keep that revolutionary spirit going?